Fusion Mobile, quality e-learning experience on the go.
Animal reproduction. From the picture on the screen, we can see a female animal suckling its young ones. This cannot occur if reproduction has not taken place. It is through reproduction that the young ones were produced. Reproduction can simply be said to be the act of producing young ones. But before reproduction occurs, there are certain processes that have to take place for reproduction to occur. We'll talk about the ostrich cycle. The ostrich cycle is the interval from the end of one heat period to the beginning of another heat period. Heat period is the time when the female animal shows signs of its readiness to mate. You can simply say that it is a time when the female animal is ready to accept the male animal for mating. While mating is the act of sexual intercourse between the male animal and the female animal. The ostrich cycle for animals differ depending on the animal. For cow, the ostrich cycle lasts from 20 to 21 days. For the eel, lasts for 17 to 21 days, and the sow 14 to 28 days. The doe 14 to 28 days, and the doe 17 to 21 days. Now, what are the signs of heat in animals? Before mating occurs, the female animal must be on heat. If the female animal is not on heat, if the female animal is not ready to accept the male animal, mating cannot occur. Now, how do we know when the female animal is on heat? There are certain signs that show that the female animal is on heat. These signs are: the vulva of the animal becomes red and swollen. There is undue noise making or bellowing. The animal begins to make noise carelessly. There is a clear viscous fluid that comes from the vagina, and this arouses the male. This fluid, when you touch it, is sticky. When the male sees it, he feels like mating the female. The animal becomes restless. You notice a form of restlessness on the female animal. And sometimes they begin to mount on other female animals. The animal shows tendency to be ridden by other animals. There is loss of appetite in the female animal, frequent urination, and tail shaking. Now we'll look at mating. Mating also is called coition or copulation. It is the act in which the penis of the male is inserted into the vagina of the female, leading to the ejaculation of spermatozoa. We have types of mating. The different types of mating include the natural mating, the flock mating, the pen mating, stood or hand mating, and the artificial mating. The natural mating occurs when the male animal, after identifying a female animal that is on heat, we then mate the animal. It is under the natural mating that we can now get the flock mating, the pen mating, and the stood hand mating. Note, we just have two major types of mating, the natural mating and the artificial mating. But under the natural mating, we have the flock mating, pen mating, stood or hand mating. Now, the flock mating, both the male and the female animals are allowed to move together and mate freely. While in the pen mating, very few number of males are kept together with limited number of females so that they can mate anytime the female animal is on heat. You could keep 4 males in a pen with 12 females, and then whenever the females are on heat, the males are ever ready to mate them. Remember that the male animal does not go on heat. the male animal is always ready to mate, but the female animal has to be on her heat period, the period when she can receive the male. The stood or hand mating. The males are kept separately to be mated with individual females when on heat. After mating, the male is taken away. Now the second type of mating, that is the artificial mating. This is called artificial insemination, whereby sperm is collected from the male animal with desirable characters. This we can find in breeding. In breeding, you select desirable characters. When you get the male animal with desirable character, you collect the sperm from the male animal and introduce it into the vagina of the female animal that is on heat. Advantages of artificial insemination. It is cheaper to import sperms than the male animal. Sperms collected can be used to fertilize many female animals of various sizes. It is more economical as it reduces the cost of feeding and managing male animals. Sperms can be used over a long time, even after the death of the male animal. What is gestation period? Gestation period is the period between fertilization of an ovum to the birth of the young ones. It is also the period between conception and birth. That is, that period when the female animal conceives. Between that period of conception and the period when the female animal gives birth is known as the gestation period. Gestation period varies in different animals. For cow, the gestation period of cow is 283 days. For eel, it's 114 days. For sow, it's 150 days. For dove, it's 151 days. For the doe of rabbits, it's 31 days. That of 151 days is for the doe of goats. Ovulation is the rupturing of the ovary wall to release mature eggs, ova or ovum, into the fallopian tube in animals. It is under the control of pituitary gland hormones, that is the luteinizing hormones. It occurs in between or midway of ostrich cycle. It occurs when the female animals are not on heat or show desire to be mated. Parturition is the act of giving birth in farm animals. It marks the end of pregnancy and the beginning of lactation. Signs of approaching parturition. The mammary glands enlarge and begins to secrete milk substances. The vulva swells and becomes soft. There may be thick mucus discharge. The animal becomes restless, lies down and gets up frequently. The animal urinates frequently. The animal tries to build a nest and beds. Example, rabbit. Loss of appetite too is a sign of parturition. Lactation is the period during which the female animal releases milk from its udder immediately after parturition and thereafter. Importance of milk. It is a source of protein in food. Can be used for raising foster calves, lamb or children. Used in the preparation of baby food. Supplies mineral to livestock. Used in the preparation of dairy products. Example, butter, cheese, and yogurt. Fertilization is the fusion of the male sex cell or gamete and the female sex cell or gamete. The male sex cell is a sperm, while the female sex cell is known as the ovum or egg. Fertilization occurs in the oviduct or fallopian tube. It finally leads to the formation of zygote. It may occur when an animal is on heat. Colostrum is the first milk produced immediately after parturition, that is, when the female animal gives birth. Immediately after giving birth, the first milk that is received from the udder is the colostrum, which is very important for the young animal, for the newly born animal, because it contains some antibodies against diseases to which the mother has been exposed, thereby it enables the newborn to get immunity to diseases. It is rich in protein, especially albumin and globulins. It also contains vitamins A, E, and B2 riboflavin. It is highly digestible and has a laxative effect, which helps the young ones to expel the fertile dung.